What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about NIO. I want to give you an overview of some of the data points, what shorts did, and everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So NIO did go down 2.94%. I did a video earlier on in the day, went over some of the data points and stuff like that. Since then, it did recover. So I had a very nice recovery to around $5.81. So it bounced off of this kind of point right here. So the S2. So 580 is going to be the next strong resistance / target. And currently, given the circumstances, with it at 562, $5.43 will be the strong support. So it's kind of trading within this range. And as I mentioned in my earlier video, Wall Street is kind of just categorizing NIO as trash. And I guess there's other ways to put it, but essentially any stock trading between this S3 and this S2, given the market circumstances, has some fundamental flaw with it. So Wall Street, like I said, is just really suppressing NIO. You also have shorts behind the scenes. There's a lot of things at play. Tech was really getting killed quite a lot today. So tech went down 2.02 as a whole. Energy 2.66. Just broader indexes were all pulling back. So it was just more of a bloodbath. And plus, even aside from that, you have the whole China scenario. And it's weird. I knew it was going to affect it, but I kind of just had this weird epiphany earlier on today. And I was scrolling through Twitter, kind of looking at some content for my video that I was about to do. And all you see now is Trump all over the place, saying that he is essentially leading by roughly like 10 basis points. So like more and more of a gap is kind of getting done. So maybe that's also having a influence on just Chinese stocks, because last time Trump was in power, there was almost threats every single month that all Chinese stocks were going to get taken off the exchange, and essentially like that did a lot of damage. So maybe like NIO and just other Chinese stocks, even over and above all the other fear, you also have the presidential elections that's coming up in whatever amount of days. So yeah, I think just NIO is just getting suppressed. No actual news associated to NIO today. So no SEC filings, no press releases, nothing like that. You had shorts really doubling down. So they did increase 2.97 million shares. So that is net. So they were trading back and forth today, just net 2.97 million. I don't know where I'm getting that number from, but 12.91% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 172.72 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average 3.91, utilization 94.03. So shorts have been kind of lingering / increasing over the last little bit. So maybe they are anticipating more of a big macro shakeup in the broader market, or even a further downtrend, and then that's where they'll pounce all over NIO. But it's not the best. Even looking at the options, there was 5.96 million in calls, 3.01 million in puts. 44% of all the options being done today were optimistic and bullish, but the optimism is somewhat diminishing. And what I mean by that is, looking at the calls that was purchased, looks like people are anticipating for it to be above 650, but the optimism for 750 and 8, that kind of went out the window today. And I think over the last several trading days, some people were really hanging on to that NIO was going to have a recovery to maybe 750. But like I said, today, I think the optimism, people accepted that it might not happen. Then looking at puts, you see a consensus for it to be sub $5.50. And this was very abnormal. I don't know where this is coming from, but for the June 20th, 2025, there was 5,000 purchased today. So I don't know, maybe they're anticipating a very broad market pullback. And that was at the $3 strike price on a side note. But yeah, well, do you think NIO is going to be sub $3 by June 20th, 2025? Again, I know based on my first video earlier today, there was a hell of a lot of bears / trolls in the comments, higher than normal. So I think a lot of people might be saying yes to that question. But based on these right here, so 3/4 of all the transactions occurring on the secondary market above $100,000 were sells. So wasn't the best. So big money wasn't really buying the NIO dip as a lot of people would have really anticipated. But as of right now, I think just generally Wall Street is just categorizing NIO as just very, very damaged, which is unfortunate, I think, at this stage in the game. But looking on IBKR for the technicals, today does mark more of a very big kind of bearish trend starting to form. So leading up to today, I think it was optimistic that it was going to bounce off of some key kind of support points, but it just kept breaking through them, regrettably. So here I do have the super trend, ALMA, 50, 100, and 200-day moving averages, stochastic RSI, and MACD, a lot of which is starting to turn bearish. Stochastic RSI, because of the significant pullback that has happened, it is considered rather oversold. But until NIO puts out a catalyst, which obviously their next catalyst most likely will be their upcoming numbers. So we have to kind of wait 2 weeks for that. But as of right now, the technicals are showing more of a breakdown and kind of indicating that it might hit around that $5.21 mark in the short term. So I don't know how people are going to really take that ultimately, but quickly going over here, these are some of the latest analyst ratings that have come out. So there was that one from yesterday, so no new ones today. And based on analyst forecasts for NIO's upcoming earnings, which they haven't announced yet, no real change. So I've been really monitoring that. And on a side note, the latest Morningstar report still does show $7.60 as the fair market value. So let me know you guys' thoughts on NIO. On a side note, if you want all of this information to be completely free, take a look at IBKR, link in the description below and the comments as well. But yeah, so what's your guys' thoughts on NIO? Have you guys been doing options? Do you think that shorts are going to continue to increase? And just what do you think is going to be the next big catalyst that could really save NIO from this technical breakdown, if that kind of makes sense? So what's your guys' thoughts? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And then 2 final things, take advantage of this promo. So 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. Free is the best thing out there in the market, so you might as well take advantage of that. And point number 2, I launched many different levels and tiers for my membership. So if you like my NIO content, want to support the channel, definitely consider joining. Plus, I do have a tier where it is buy signals. And even though the market was very, very red, a lot of them were 100% on point. So recommend you guys taking a look at that. With that said, appreciate all you guys watching.